Hey guys, welcome to the Silver Report. It is Monday, February 6th, 2017. Gold is currently trading at $1,235.20. Silver still on the way up at $17.80. It's a 1.17% gain for silver. Gold has a 1.21% gain. And we see that the euro fell to a 1 week low against the dollar Monday. On uncertainty ahead of several impending European elections, while European and U.S. stock markets dipped ahead of a heavy week of corporate results coming up next week. There's serious concerns over the French politics ahead of the presidential vote in April. Political risk is serving to dampen the euro, and of course for good reason. We saw that the front runner, Marine Le Pen, she launched a presidential bid vowing to fight globalization and take France out of the Eurozone. And we see a movement that is taking place all over the world with this action about setting up an executive order to leave the United Nations by President Donald Trump, which is truly a moment of American history, such as we've never seen before. We see that the dollar also has slid to its lowest in more than 2 months against the yen, pressured by a drop in U.S. Treasury yields. So we see in the U.S. equity market, key indexes very modestly lower ahead of the slew of results coming, the lingering uncertainty over the policy decisions of President Donald Trump and the potential impacts of this economy. And what we're facing in the United States is something that we've never really seen before. You see, we've entered into new territory. I'll give you an example. Trump's cabinet positions are largely left open. For example, Vincent Viola, the president's pick for the Secretary of the Army, has withdrawn his consideration. Entering the administration's third week, only 5 members of President Trump's cabinet picks are on the job, including the Secretaries of State, Defense, Homeland Security, and Transportation. But the heads of the Department of Justice, Treasury, Health, Labor, Housing, Veterans Affairs, and 9 others are still awaiting Senate confirmation. And what we're seeing in Washington, we saw largely the fourth quarter of 2016 was carried by speculation and enthusiasm in the state of the economy and hope for the United States. The people voted. The people voted for real change. They voted for what they saw was a resurgence of the American economy. And there was a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of investor enthusiasm in the United States businesses. There was great hope. And we saw a lot of moves taken immediately, more than any other president in history. And what we have also seen is unprecedented release of propaganda resisting a presidential election. And we can't act like this is normal. We see the protests that have taken place over in Berkeley over speakers. If we have deadlock over the cabinet picks that the President Trump has selected, we see some moves being taken that are historic in the United States. And what we have been seeing recently is a breakdown of society. We see a resistant force, an unseen force that is at work behind some of what has been going on in the political landscape. What has been going on among the populace? We see large amounts of propaganda that are designed to incite what they call protest, which when you look and open your eyes to what is going on around you, what is going on with the youth, what is going on with this generation, is that this is not even their own fight. These people don't even know what they're upset about. They don't even know what they're fighting for. They don't know what they stand for. But they are subjects of propaganda designed to incite passion. Its target is the breakdown of the American society, because this is what happens when the people they want don't get into positions of power. This is what happens. What are their chants as they're protesting? That this is what democracy looks like. And is it? Is it what democracy looks like? In this country, we vote. And they select our leaders from our vote. And if the majority of the population, there is a electoral college that has been set up so that the smaller states are not run over by the states with more population. And so it has been set up so that there are certain electoral votes, which we have a president that won by a landslide, above 300 electoral votes. And he was voted by a mass majority of Americans. He was voted to restore business, to undo some of this globalization that has taken place that has been so damaging. And there is a force at work behind the scenes that doesn't want this, that doesn't want American prosperity. You act like these things are by accident, or like this is some sort of theory. Open your eyes to the world around you. Speak to some of the youth. See if they can even understand what money is anymore. Disenfranchised, unemployed, severely in debt, no longer getting married and having families. In fact, there's a war out for the family right now. There's a war out for everything that has been America for hundreds of years. And this is the subject that no one is speaking about, that is going to have the greatest impact. If they can't even get his cabinet picks in there, how are his policies going to move forward? No, what are they shouting? Policies of resist, resist, resist. It's been 13 days and we see violence in the streets, a suppression of free speech among the youth, these college campuses, people who will go forth and be controlling the world at some point. At some of these larger universities, people who will become senators, who will become congressmen. We see what their ideology is being warped into. A policy of resistance and anti-American sentiments. This is the wild card that no one is talking about. The fact that, are we going to even see this change? And when this fourth quarter that was carried by enthusiasm, carried by investment into the stock market, when these people begin to realize that the powers that be, this invisible hidden hand of history, is not going to allow a free America, is not going to allow a recovery, is not going to allow a sovereign United States of America separate from control of world entities and world trade agreements. When they're not going to allow real change, not that separate than their program, what we're going to see is this enthusiasm turn to panic. We're going to see a breakdown of the society and the government. Now, I've not always been very pleased with some of the government choices that we've been given in this country. A lot of the times, it's not a choice. But the issue at hand is that the United States Constitution is among one of the greatest documents in any country's history, in the history of the world. True freedom, written out by men who knew tyranny and what it took to preserve independent liberty. And we see an anti-government. It's the people that are there, not the system, not the Constitution, not the wonderful writings that are contained, that make up such a beautiful body as the government of the United States. It's voting that needs to change. It's the people that are there that need to change. It's the overriding of this document that needs to change. And unfortunately, the wild card is, look around you. Will we see that happen? Will we see the hope? And no, and when people begin to realize that their hopes will not be accomplished, that this is not going to go the way that they planned, they're going to begin to panic. And that this economy is so much worse than they could have imagined because of the suppression of information. Not examining facts, but listening to smiles and suits on the TV, corporate propaganda by the same hidden hand that wants to alter this country forever. This is the wild card. This is where we're going to see true danger within the economy of the United States. Civil war and riots and protests, we see the breakdown of economies in a moment of time. Look at places like Iraq, Libya, where it was the richest country in all Africa, and now they're in destitution. Wherever there's chaos, they're sure to follow economic woes. And this is what we're watching. Do you think this is going to stop? It's only just begun. There's a lot of financing, a lot of money behind this political movement to undo politics. And it's a sad day in the state in which we are in, to where we cannot have our country back. I thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe. There'll be more videos just like this. Like the videos, leave me a comment in the comment box what you like about them, any suggestions. And also, the only way we're going to make it out of this is if the masses are awakened. Be sure to share the videos. Get the word out. Let people examine the facts for themselves. It's the only way that we really have hope, because it seems that this resistance against our elected officials will continue, so much that we can't even get cabinet picks put in. And I thank you guys so much for joining me. Above all, stay safe and keep your eyes open. Hey guys, thanks for joining me again. I told you we had something special coming up. So what we're going to do, I just got a nice package in the mail. Got two brand new 2017 Canadian Maples. Man, I love these coins. What a beautiful coin that is. Oh, I guess you're wondering about the title of the video. That's right. This is Free Silver February, guys. And I figured since the channel's been doing so good and picking up so many subscribers, I thought it was time to give a little something back to my audience. So for every person who subscribed, all you have to do, guys, is comment on 3 different videos the message Free Silver February. And for everybody who types the message Free Silver February in 3 different videos, each 3 videos, you're entered in for a chance to win one of these brand new silver Canadian Maples. Brand new, never touched by human hands. Well, at least since they've been in my possession. Brand new spotless coins. And they're yours, guys. I'll pay shipping. So if you want to partake in the contest, all you gotta do is be subscribed. Type in Free Silver February. I'll make it even sweeter. Every 3 videos you post that comment in, you're entered in. So there's no limit. The only limit is the amount of videos, because it's gotta be on 3 separate videos. Alright, and I'll make it even sweeter. Since the channel's been doing so well, guys. And if you're new to this channel, we talk a little bit about politics, a little bit about the current economic crisis we're facing that they're trying to ignore. It's kind of one of those fake news sites they've been warning you about. So this is what I'm going to do, guys, since it's been doing so good. If we surpass 1,000 subscribers, which I'm assuming we will, at the current rate, we'll blow past that before the end date, February 27th, 2017, I'm going to double it. So you get 2 ounces of silver, and even more than that, I'll throw in 5 mercury dimes. Absolutely free. I'll pay shipping, And we're gonna do the drawing live, guys. Good old-fashioned pull names out of a hat. You know what I mean. So here's your chance, guys. If you want to enter in, it's not that difficult for all my audience, all my faithful subscribers. Everyone who's subscribed, all you have to comment is free silver February, and you're in. All right, but thank you guys for joining me. This message is effective January 27th, 2017. Let the games begin.